Oh, it's good. I'll let some people join the stream. Yes. Tell me a story. See if I can put the phone up here. All right, cool. We ready to jam? What's going on? Nothing spectacular today. It looks like it's raining. What up, Ashley? So I did not push out a video today because one reason why I didn't do it is I think you guys already know. Like I'm bored and that I'm just skateboarding and that's about it. But actually, I got a really good video topic tomorrow. I'm gonna do a sit-down video tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know the name of the video title. The name of the video title tomorrow is Why Travel Vlogging Sucks. Like really. Another YouTuber that I follow just made a video talking about why travel vlogging sucks, and I thought I would make a video talking about why travel vlogging sucks too. Yes. I'm messaging him right now. We're talking on Instagram. And yeah, dude, what he said in this video, like, is the same problems I'm having. Actually, I kind of learned a couple things from his video. A lot of things he was talking about, I have noticed, but I really exactly haven't put it together. Especially how he was talking about the formulas and if you go to certain countries and you make certain videos in certain countries, you will just you will literally just add a lot of subscribers like crazy. Yeah. His name is Traveling Cart Vlog. He's really he travels all the time. He's in New York right now. I wonder how long he'll be in New York because I want to I'm gonna go to New York later this summer, and I definitely would like to like visit and chill and make videos and stuff. As of right now, I'm just having some ramen noodles. It is what time is it? My watch is on Europe time. It's like 9:20. It's 9:26, February the 21st, Thursday. Are Australians stuck up? Okay, so believe it or not, yesterday, we actually met some local Australians and we met some Aboriginals, and no, they don't seem to be stuck up at all. The only stuck up people that I've met here, well, a lot of the stuck up people are other travelers. But I don't think the Australians are stuck up at all. How are you? I'm good right now. Looks like it's gonna rain all day today, so it's gonna be one of those days. Which airlines is your favorite? Um, I think right now probably British Airways, which is kind of weird to say because I don't think that they're necessarily the best, but out of what I flew on, I really like British Airways. This might be kind of weird, but I really I like Delta and also United. Very very weird to say I like United Airlines with all the drama that's going on with United Airlines. But one reason I do like United Airlines is because of they have decent food on United Airlines and the point system to gain flights. I really like the point system on United Airlines. It's really good. Yeah, whenever you fly, you get like X amount of points for a free trip in the future. What part of Australia you're in? I'm in Byron Bay right now. Why is Australia boring? Um, the reason why I would say it's boring is because there's no culture here. Like when you go to Europe, there's lots of culture, but here, like, I don't, I can't tell you what the culture is. I can't even tell you what the food is because I don't know, kangaroo burgers or something. Any plans to go to Dubai? Maybe I'll go to Dubai. Maybe I'll go to Dubai later this year. Oh, dude, thanks a lot for the super chat. Yeah, $2 for Roman. Actually, Roman's pretty cheap here. I think this was like what 75 cents or something. No, it was. I think it was less than that. I think it was like yeah, like 75 cents. For the most part, I don't think Australia is that expensive. I mean, at least coming from San Francisco, it's not. Like Byron Bay is, I would say, is on par. Like yesterday, I went and got like a falafel with French fries, and it was like it was like about $15, and I was thinking, this is expensive. But in Melbourne and Sydney, I didn't think that they were that expensive. A lot of the food, I didn't think the food was that expensive. I didn't take many trains because I took the skateboard majority of the time, so I didn't really take the trains. But this morning when I woke up, a lot of people were emailing me this video of this guy in Australia on an electric skateboard. He got a $3,000 fine for riding an electric skateboard. It looked like it was in a city. I can't tell you what city it was in because kind of all the cities look the same. But I sure hope that doesn't happen to me on this trip. And if I did get a fine, I mean, could I like go to the airport and leave, you know? Because if I got to the airport and was able to get on a flight and leave, that means that I'm not going to pay that $3,000 fine. And that means I'm never coming back to Australia. That's what that means. Well, first they got to catch me, you know? And I purposely always ride with headphones on so I can always use the excuse that, oh, I didn't hear you, you know? That's why I purposely ride with headphones on. Ticket to ride, yeah, because it's like an electric vehicle. Jermaine, Mr. Handsome, Tennessee, what up? Yeah. So I don't know where my Australian vlog's at right now because I don't even know what to do. Like, I actually thought that Australia would be one of those countries that I would gain a lot of views from. And actually, it's not at all. Since I've been here, I don't even think Australia is like. So on YouTube, there's a list of countries that watch you, right? And before I came to Australia, I believe Australia was like number 8. Now I think Australia is number 6. Okay. Usually when I go to countries like when I'm in the UK, when I was in the UK was number 1, but it was number 1 by far. Australia is like, it's not even moving up the list. It's not even number 1, which is kind of disappointing. Come back to Belfast. Bro, I love Belfast. I love Belfast. I had a lot of fun in Belfast. I like Belfast because it was just super chilled out. You know, it wasn't too much going on, and it wasn't like, I mean, it wasn't too crazy of a place, and then it also wasn't too boring of a place. Like, it was just a happy medium, man. I mean, good food, good people, easy to walk around. I just met like amazing people there. But that's just the UK. Like I love the UK. Even on this trip, a lot of the people I've talked to have been from the UK because I just love like I don't know UK. They speak English there. It's their language. They like Americans. What's your favorite country so far? South Africa for sure. Yeah, South Africa. Just because like I don't know, South Africa's kind of a rough place. I would say. Yeah, South Africa is like a rough place, but the reason why I say South Africa is because I don't know, the food, weather. I mean, the cities are pretty dang developed. People are friendly. I mean, I can walk down the street and no one's looking at me. No one's paying me any attention, you know, because I just fit right in with the people there. A lot of times when I go to countries, I kind of stick out. Like here, like, dude, this place that I'm in right now, this is literally the whitest place I've ever been in my life. Like, for real. Like, the whitest. Like, yeah. Like, not that I feel weird, like, walking around, but Europe is nothing like this. Europe is nothing like this, yo. Europe's actually pretty multicultural. But here, I mean, when I see the Aboriginals, they're like, "What's up, man? What's up, man?" His Aboriginals are dark. They're not as dark as me, but they're pretty dark. Like they stick out. Like you can tell that they're Aboriginal, and then they speak with the Australian accent. I stick out. Well, I can't tell. Like it's not like I'm getting any action around him. No, Australia. Believe it or not, I'll actually probably come back to Australia later this year. Yeah, I'll probably come back because I want to go to Perth, but I'm not going to do Perth on this trip. So when I go back to South Africa, I'm probably going to travel around Africa for maybe a month or two. And then my plan is to go to like Southeast Asia after Africa. And then when I'm in Southeast Asia, I want to check out Perth. Because would love to go to Indonesia again. But the next time I go to Indonesia, I want to check out Jakarta. And then from Jakarta, maybe Perth. But these won't, I don't know. Who knows? I'll probably just go to South Africa and want to stay for a whole month again. Which is kind of bad. But we'll see what happens. It's so hot right now. It's not really hot, but it's just like humid and sticky. It's raining today. So it's going to be one of those indoor chill days. That's why I'm probably going to go somewhere and make a sit-down video for you guys because I'm not going to really be vlogging. This town that I'm in right now is super hard to vlog in because there's just, it's so small. People always tell me to get out of cities, People say, Jermaine, leave the city, go see nature. Okay, so I'm out of the city right now. This little town that I'm in is so small. I will literally, you guys know the boosted board, I get 5.5 miles on the battery, right? I will literally ride around this town and I can ride around the whole town and have half of battery left. That's how small it is. So people tell me to get out of the city and go see nature. Okay, I'm in nature and really, I really have much, I don't really have anything to show you guys because it literally looks just like California. Like it looks just like California. So, I'm gonna have a video come out and it's gonna be nature and it's just gonna be, honestly, in my opinion, it's gonna be really fucking boring. But who knows? You guys will probably like it. Like it'll probably get tons of views, but I just think honestly, I think it's super boring here. Like the best thing to do is to sleep all day and just go out at night. That's really the best thing to do. Especially on a day like today when it's raining. I mean, if you're into the beach and all that, but dude, my black ass, like, I don't need to be out tanning in the beach, like, on the sand. Like, it's hot, yo. Like, I ain't got time for that. Like, I need to be under a palm tree or something, or, staying awake at night. That's kind of how I see it. Do they have good weed? So last night I was at this bonfire thing, and this guy was like passing around this thing. And I didn't know. I actually thought it was tobacco, but it was weed, and it was really good, actually. It was really, really good. But I totally did not know what I was smoking. I was unaware that, it was weed. I actually thought it was tobacco, because you guys know, like, I love tobacco so much, So I thought that this was some Australian tobacco, Get your tan on. I don't need a tan, bro. I'm burnt. Why not try scuba diving? Australia, good for that. Well, you can't really do scuba diving in the rain. Right now there's like a storm that's coming, and it's gonna be raining for the next like 6 days. And I'm trying to figure out what am I gonna do for the next 6 days. I'm actually not really worried because I can just do stuff on the computer and I can do stuff inside. But and I'll probably still will go hiking and stuff like in the rain, just because after a couple days when you're stuck inside in the rain, you don't mind, you'll go get wet, to go hiking and go do some stuff like that. But have you seen the Great Barrier Reef? The Great Barrier Reef is a little bit north. I had plans on going to see the Great Barrier Reef, but once again, there is a huge storm that's coming. So, in a big storm, the Great Barrier Reef is not cyclone, yeah. It's gonna be yeah. I'm not gonna probably not gonna go see it, and I have about a week left before I go back to Sydney, and then I'll spend 2 days in Sydney, and then I'll go back to the U.S. Yay! Go back to the U.S. So, actually, can't wait for that. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I got going for now. Finish my noodles. Alex misses. Go visit him. Yeah, I definitely. I'll go see Alex. Actually, I've been talking to Alex quite a bit on this trip. Like I'm telling y'all, this has been a boring trip. Like I've been talking to a lot of people back home. I'm talking to family. Been talking to friends. Hey man, what's up? What's going on? Any good vegan food out there? Man, there's like, there's one thing I can say about Australia. They definitely got lots of good vegan food. But the reason why I say that there's a lot of, I want to say any place where it's Western and there's a lot of Asians, you're gonna find good vegan food. Because it seems like the Asian community is pushing veganism a lot, which is pretty dope. Especially in California. Especially in California. So there's this really, really good Mediterranean restaurant that's here. I want to say it's one of the best Mediterranean restaurants I've been to in a minute. Definitely not my favorite, but it's really, really good, but kind of pricey. We talk about money. What do you mean talk about money? Oh, like how expensive is Australia? But believe it or not, I don't think Australia is that expensive. Like not coming from the Bay Area. I mean, this little hippie town I'm in, it's definitely more expensive than like Sydney or Melbourne, but no, I don't think it's. I mean, I think parts of Europe are like way more expensive. Like Paris is like way more expensive than this place for sure. Good night from Norway. What time is it in Norway right now? Is it like 11:41? Have you boxed any kangaroos yet? So I haven't seen any kangaroos. I was hanging out with this guy yesterday from Finland, this black dude from Finland, and he was telling me that he went over to the lighthouse because there's a lighthouse about I don't know, it's about like 8 kilometers away, and he said that he went up to the lighthouse and he saw kangaroos. So I was gonna go to the lighthouse and see if I could see kangaroos. So but yeah, I haven't seen any kangaroos yet. You see any snakes or spiders? I haven't exactly seen spiders really, but I've seen a lot of freaking weird ass ants, bro. Like a lot of ants, like hella ants, heaps of ants. If you Australian and you're watching this video, met any crazy dudes? Um, no, not really. You from you get northern cockroaches, snakes and spiders. I haven't really seen any snakes either. I've definitely seen crazy amounts of lizards around here. Any crazy chicks? No, I haven't met any chicks here, yo. Like this ain't the place, yo. Like I don't think they like chocolate around here. Bottom line, like that's South Africa, bro. Yeah, if you like black, like you come here, like don't expect to get laid. Are they fat? I don't see any fat people here. No, that's America, yo. And countries where they eat lots of meat. I don't think people. They have. I want to say people are a lot more healthy around here. Like even hanging out with these local people yesterday. Like this guy just got back from the grocery store and he had like this huge like 12 pack of no not a 12 pack like a 30 pack of beer or something. And then he had this huge bag of food and it was basically like all vegetables. Like homeboy didn't even have any meat, didn't have any cheese. Like they were just grilling vegetables. Like I don't know, maybe they're vegan, but yeah, Australia has legal hookers. You can get laid. I haven't really seen any in this town. This little town, like, there's a lot of stuff I don't see here. Have you engaged with the black community in Melbourne yet? So when I was in Melbourne, I did skateboard through this like neighborhood that, I mean, we can basically call it the hood, but it looked pretty sketchy to me. I didn't want to just stand around and I didn't want to just hang out and like talk to people. But it was like a bunch of Africans that looked hella sketchy, and I saw a bunch of Asians that looked hella sketchy. Like, yeah, like, for real, like they look kind of gangster. And then I kept seeing like a lot of gangster looking like Australian dudes, like white dudes that look like they just like gangster, you know. So I'm thinking I don't want to just stay around this part of town. I'm not trying to like go talk to those folks. But that's like, I mean, you don't really see black people here, yo. Cause Australia, one of those countries, they didn't let refugees in. Like no Syrian refugees, no African immigrant, no African refugees. Like they just basically want to keep it like all white for the most part, which kind of makes sense. How often in a year do you travel? Do like like it's February, right? And I just counted this yesterday, but I've already taken 10 flights this year. So I don't travel that much, but I travel a lot. In 2 months, I've taken 10 flights. That's horrible. What about kangaroos? Have you seen any? Haven't seen any kangaroos yet. You know, if they do hate, if they probably, maybe they do. Because I don't, like, outside of Melbourne, like, I didn't see any Africans, yo. Are there good coffee shops in Bahrain? Well, they don't have coffee shops like the coffee shops we're talking about in, like, Europe. But they definitely have coffee shops. Tribals are there. Yeah, they're there. Keep it up, bro. Have you seen any Aboriginal? Oh, gosh. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? They remind me of Native Americans a lot. Is it colder? No, it's actually warm right now. It's probably about maybe like 18 or 19. No, it's like maybe like 75 degrees. Um, so I've already been to South Korea. The weirdest thing I've seen in Australia. I really haven't seen that many weird. I can't really name anything. Cause this reminds me of California so much, like this whole country, yo. I'm really trying to think. Like, I really can't tell. Cairns is nice, but would be very hot. So I've been hearing a lot of mixed emotions about Cairns. So that's why I'm not interested in going. I hear that it's like it's just like here. It's like all white, and it's a surfer community. And I don't surf, yo. That's kind of why I don't like this place because it's like a huge surfing community, and I don't surf, and it's kind of weird to be in a place where I just like stick out so much here, like skateboarding. I, I don't think I'm gonna do cons, yo. Cause everybody I hear that talks about cons around here are like it seems like the most like stuck up place on earth. So that's why I'm not into it. That's why I'm not. And once again, like this cyclone is coming. It's gonna be up there too. So, seeing any construction workers? Man, there's plenty of construction workers around here, yo. It's funny, yo. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. It's funny because it be with the uniforms and everything, and everybody wears the same uniform. I haven't been to Jamaica yet. What do you like the most in Australia? Um, they speak English. That's about it, and it's cheap. It's cheaper. It's not cheap. It is cheaper. Like cheap would be like Southeast Asia. Hard to understand surfers. They just kind of got like a different lingo to them. Any snakes? I haven't seen any snakes. How do they live? For the most part, you mean what do you mean the Aboriginals or the Australians? Because for the like Australians, they typically live like just like people live in California. Like, you know, they live. I mean, they live a good life. I mean, I want to say Australians live a whole lot better than Europeans, just because their country's bigger, and their houses are bigger, their cars are bigger. Like, they live like Americans. You know. Not, and you know, one thing I have noticed is so, so many people come here to work. It just makes me wonder, like, what are jobs like in these countries that people are coming from? Like, it must not be many opportunities, you know? Yeah, so like they are, but it's honestly it's kind of hard to tell who's an Australian girl because there's so many foreigners that live here. So it's very difficult to tell like who's Australian because like going to a restaurant like a lot of times it's people from Europe working there. Like it's not Australians. Like I haven't really met that many Australians, yo. Oh, so crazy stories. I've heard of dude, some of the jobs that people come here and do are freaking insane. So it was this one guy that I was talking to, and he was telling me how his job was to catch chickens, right? So I was like, oh, catch chickens. He was like, yeah. What you do is you put this suit on, and you go into this pen, and you catch chickens. And he did it for 10 hours a day. And this guy was actually like, he was into it. Like he loved it. Like it was something that he missed. And when he was telling me about it, he just got so into it. He was like, man, you just walk up into the pen and you see the chickens and you just grab the chickens. And man, I got so good. I was grabbing 8 chickens at one time. And you grab the chickens by the feet and you take the chickens and you just throw them into the pen. And if you didn't, he was saying like, if you don't grab the chicken fast enough, the chicken will start to shit on you. And when the chicken starts to shit on you, you'll smell like crap because the chicken just shit on you. But he was saying that you have to grab the chicken like really fast and you just throw it into the pen. And he's like, whenever you grab the chicken, they make this sound because you just grab them. And I'm thinking like, whoa, man, I don't think I want to be no chicken grabber. And I was like, so how much money do you make a month, like a week? And he's like, yeah, you make like 500 Australian dollars a week to grab chickens. So 500 Australian dollars a week is like, that's like 400 US dollars. Yo, in San Francisco, you can make $400 in a day. So, people want to know, like, are you going to come to Australia to work? Oh, hell no. I would never work in Australia, yo. Like, for what? Have you experienced any racial discrimination? No, not at all. Not at all. Not like I do in the U.S. No. It's funny, like in my other video, I was talking about how my video from 2 days ago, I was talking about how in the U.S. like people when I'm in San Francisco, I can see fear in people's eyes sometimes, like they're afraid of me. And someone wrote on there, yeah, you look homeless, you look homeless. And I was thinking about that. Okay, maybe I do, wearing a $200 North Face jacket and walking around with a $1,500 skateboard. Yeah, maybe I do look homeless. Or maybe I'm just black. And I don't look homeless. Maybe I'm just black. Because for the most part, you can't see my hair because someone was saying, with your hair, you look sketchy. For the most part, you never see my hair because I'm always wearing a helmet, you know? So, I don't know. I think in the U.S., it's the media thing. Like, it's in the media because here, otherwise, I would if I looked homeless back in San Francisco and people were afraid of me, I look the same here. Why aren't people afraid of me here? It's not. It's because of the media, and it's the way the media portrays black people in the U.S. It portrays black people as fools, rowdy. They'll rob you. They'll steal shit from you, and just don't trust them. That's how the media portrays black people in the U.S. And whoever said that was probably someone who is non-black and probably just wanted to take up from the media, you know? Jermaine, should I move to Australia from the US? Are you white or are you black? Because if you're white, do it. If you're black, I would say don't go to Australia, go somewhere else. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like, you don't want me to be beat around the bush, right? Because I feel like if you're white and you're American, this will be a really good place. Like, this would be much better than the U.S. People are afraid of me. I look like the boogeyman. Yeah, I look. Yeah, people. Yeah, maybe people think I look like the boogeyman, but I don't really care. Majority of the time when I'm in San Francisco, I just don't make eye contact with people. Like, I don't. Like, I really act stuck up a lot. Like, I'll literally walk, if I see people like walking up ahead of me, like I'll look up. Like, I will not make eye contact with people because when you make eye contact with people, that's when you see that people are afraid of you. But if you walk around and you look stuck up, you just don't see their eyes. You don't see them, and you present this negative energy to them, you know, and they don't see the negative. You don't see their negative energy. You give them the negative energy, and you know what? I'm gonna give negative energy all day when I'm in the Bay Area. Have you been to Hawaii? I've been to Hawaii a couple times. Actually, I want to go back to Hawaii right now. Like, for real, I want to go back to Hawaii. But Hawaii is kind of a boring place, like, to be honest. I look up a lot in SF. I always do. I always do. I always have my stuck up face on when I'm back in the Bay Area. Have you been to Sweden? I've been to Sweden, but I was only there for like 2 days. I went to Sweden only to eat McDonald's, yo. Only reason I went to Sweden, like, not to see the culture, not to hear the language. Like, I just want to eat some McDonald's because they got vegan McDonald's in Sweden. So that was my main event. I got a video of me in Sweden, like, eating McDonald's. Sweden was fun, yo. Sweden was fun. Oh my gosh. Hold on, sorry. Sorry, it was super gross. Yeah, cause like I feel that if you don't, okay, one thing I've noticed about San Francisco is a lot of times people look stuck up all the time, and when you see someone look up stuck up, you just kind of don't really pay them that much attention. And I do that all the time. Like, it's weird. Like, I don't do that here. Like, I don't do that when I'm outside of San Francisco as much. Like, when I go to LA, I don't do that. When I'm in Santa Barbara, I don't do that. But in San Francisco, yo, I'll do it all the time. A lot of times I will go into places and pay for stuff and don't even look the people in their fucking face, bro. Because I've been through it so many times where, like, you know, I can tell, like, I don't know, maybe people just think I'm sketchy or something, you know? So I just don't even look at motherfuckers. I mean, sorry to be, like, negative like that, but, like, yeah, that's just how it is. I'm like super, yeah, because I'm comfortable in San Francisco. What about airports, dude? Airports are different, like, especially when you're in an international terminal, it's very different. Like, they don't look at you the same way. Like, yeah. Airports are pretty chill. Oh, you said AirPods. I'm not gonna get AirPods. Maybe I'll get the AirPods too if they have the black ones, but I'm not jumping up and down to get the AirPods. How do you afford these flights? Well, first off, what is this? Something is super gross. Like, something is like super gross in my drink. Like, look at this. I've been drinking this and, like, what is this black shit? That was not there a minute ago. Was that like a bug or something? Like some Australian shit? want this Coca-Cola, dog. What is that? Was that like a bug or something? I'm trying to figure this out. Man, I don't get that. Like, what? The Chinese and flew a bug over here and put some poison on my drink so I can drink it and I can die from the live stream or something? Why am I blaming it on the Chinese? I don't get it. Like, that looks super gross. It didn't look like a bug because a bug would have just like stayed there, but that looked like it maybe it was an Australian assassination attempt. Don't drink anymore. I sure want to drink this joint. Fuck. I so want to drink this, yo. Bugs are vegan. No, I don't want no. I don't want no bugs. I see these scooters in the city yesterday. I thought of you. I am going to try it. Thanks. Yeah, we can. Oh yeah, you should try the scooters, yo. What tips you got for making passive income while traveling? Um, I don't know. It seems like drink it. Passive income. Well, mainly YouTube videos and like Amazon affiliate links and companies trying to sponsor me to do this and do that. I'm actually going to since it's not raining right now, I'm gonna take you guys with me. Let's go on a little walk around this little town. And yeah, let's do that. Let's go on a little walk around this town. It's not raining right now. It's probably gonna be raining soon. But meanwhile, I can take you guys on a little walk. We can go for a little stroll. And I can do my dish really fast with you guys. Oh man, it's freaking warm right now. What time is it here? It's like 10 a.m. How am I gonna carry all this? We're gonna put the Coke here, and we're gonna put this here. Bottled water. Bottled water is very important, but I'm not going that far away. I'm gonna study close actually. Dump the drink into a glass before you drink it. Oh, yeah, that's actually a really good idea. If I can find a glass. One second, I'm gonna do this really fast. You still there? Stay in the shade. You know I will. I'm not gonna be out in the freaking sun, yo. Is it easy to get vegan food in Australia? Yes, it's pretty dang easy for the most part. Yeah, I haven't had any problems. Which country will you live in if you could? Probably England. Probably England because I really like the UK a lot. It's very similar to, it's very similar to the US. Um, I don't know. Let's keep walking. Okay, cool. I left for a week. Oh my gosh, there's a park over here I'm just gonna walk to. It's so beautiful right now. I mean, it's not a bright sunny day, but I gotta remember to cross the street the right way. No camping anytime. Man, I'm not gonna lie, people when they come to Australia, they do whatever the fuck they want, yo. Like, I've never been to a country that has so many rules. Like, there's rules for everything. Everybody just breaks all the fucking rules. Like, everybody just does whatever they want. Like, I don't get it. One thing I've noticed about Australians, whenever you meet Australians outside of, like whenever you meet Australians in other parts of the world, they're always like really rowdy. They're always like super, super rowdy. They're always crazy. But when you come to Australia, you realize why they're so rowdy and why they're so crazy. Because in Australia, there's rules for everything. So when Australians leave Australia, like there's no rules like in Europe, like there's not rules for like every single thing. There's not something that says hold the rail to go down the stairs, like common sense. Like most people in Europe know that if you're walking down the freaking stairs, you might want to hold the rail, but in Australia they have to tell you like 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. Like there's a chicken, look at there's lots of chickens around here. They just run around. Like, you know that guy I was telling you about that was grabbing the chickens? He probably would have walked up and grabbed the hell out that chicken, yo. Look at that chicken, just chilling. Like it's Africa or something. You got chickens running around. He's running now. Y'all wanna make some chicken nuggets? I'm not finna grab that fucking chicken. Chicken gonna peck the shit out of me. Here's a skate park over here. I wasn't even looking for this. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna do anything at this skate park, but it's a little skate park. Man, it's actually warm right now. Thanks for the cool videos. That's what's up. That's what's up. I kind of want to walk down to the beach, but I'm not trying to go that far. It's warm right now. It's like mad hot right now. I just want to go somewhere and like sit down and chill. It's humid because it was raining a minute ago and then the rain stopped. And you know how that is when it rains and then the rain stops. Thanks for the super chat, yo. You smoked the ganja? Yeah, last night I accidentally smoked some and it was really good actually. Paid for the Coke. How much was the Coke? The Coke was $250 Australian dollars, so that's like what, like $1.75? Yeah, about $1.75. Chase that chicken down. That's not the only one. I've seen hella chickens, yo. Do they have TaskRabbit there? So many people ask me, like, are you gonna work here? Are you gonna work there? Like, guys, like, you can't work in a foreign country on apps. Like, this is something you cannot do because you have to sign up like with that country, and just like in the U.S., you have to have a social security number to work. It's the same way in other countries. You don't have to have a social security number, but you have to have something equivalent to that. So that's why. And anyway, I don't get why so many people ask that question. Like, literally in the comments, people are like, are you gonna do Uber Eats? Like, I literally can't. Like, if you guys really wanted me to, I can fake it. Like, I can do a complete fake video, but like, I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to be fake. And why would I make a fake video just to entertain you guys? Like, I mean, I would have to get like a work visa, and with the work visa, I could work for Uber, but a work visa it wouldn't be worth it for me to do a work visa here. I would lose money working in Australia because you're not gonna make $2,000 a week. You might not even make $2,000 a month in Australia. But for a lot of people coming from Europe, $2,000 a month is a whole lot of money, like a whole lot of money. Like, but $2,000 a week in San Francisco ain't shit if you ask me. So, I mean, you guys get where I'm going here. Like, I don't know, it's just like where I come from. Like, if I was living in Tennessee and I took this trip to Australia, the numbers would look completely different to me. I would say, wow, maybe I could live in Australia because people in Tennessee make a lot less. But, I mean, from the Bay Area, no, man, I would literally be a fool to come here. Unless I just wanted to, like, live in the country and just wanted to explore the country. But to maximize profits, like, no. And then you can't just come here and work for free. You have to pay the visa. The visa is about 400 euros. So that's like maybe about $450. So you have to pay the $450. And then, guys, I'm just going to tell y'all, Australia is a very smart country, okay? They're very, very smart. and I'm gonna give you the breakdown. I actually kind of want to make a video talking about why Australia is like a brilliant country. Basically, what Australia does is this. Australia is this huge country that's like roughly almost the size of the U.S., right? There's 20 million people, 22 million people live in this huge place. In the Los Angeles greater area, there's about 20 million people that live in the Los Angeles greater area, okay? In California, there's about 40 million people. So Australia has a very small population for its landmass. What Australia does is they sell work visas, right? You have to pay, you have to pay for the visa, which is like, like I said, like about 400 euros. And then once you get the work visa, you come here and work. When you get to Australia and work, you people work all sorts of jobs. Like I met one girl, she was working for some insurance company, and she basically like paid out money whenever people got into car crashes. She would investigate it and then she'd pay out money. I've met people that catch chickens for a living. I've met tons of construction workers, people that build houses, people that work on bridges, people that work on roads, people that do all sorts of crazy shit. I met people that work in restaurants. I met just basically any job, all right? So once you get into the country, of course, you pay taxes in Australia. So once again, Australia is making more money off of you because they got you from the visa, now they're getting you for the taxes. Once again, Australia now has people working in the country doing stuff because Australia does not have a lot of people to do a lot of the jobs, right? On top of that, what do people do when they're off work? Okay? When people are off work, they travel. Traveling is it's not like the most expensive place to travel around, but it's actually not a cheap country to travel around in. A lot of people will typically buy a car. They'll buy a used car, maybe $2,000-$3,000, and they'll just drive that car around the country, and live in the car. And then you also have people that live in hostels and hotels. People camp on the beach. I met this Israeli girl. She'd been camping on the beach for 2 days. No, 2 weeks. She's like, yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. And I've been sleeping on the beach like every night. So basically people just do whatever they want, right? And then another thing I've noticed is, alcohol and cigarettes are insane, bro. When you go to the store and get like beer, so back in the U.S., you can go get you can go to the store and get a 6-pack for what? $7, $8, right? Here, a 6-pack is gonna cost you no less than 15 US dollars. Like no less. Alcohol is insane. If you want like a bottle of Jack Daniels that you would pay $30 for in America, expect to pay about $50 here in Australia for the same exact bottle. Australia is smart. They know that people are gonna drink and they know people are gonna smoke. So they charge you the most for that. I think it's freaking brilliant, yo. I think it's brilliant. So you have all these people coming to your country to work, make all this money, and I'm pretty sure the country hopes that these people that come to their country and make all this money, that they spend it right back into the Australian economy. And then when these people leave, they leave with no money. But they got to experience Australia. So that's really that's kind of this is my interpretation of how Australia works. No, I would not get into real estate here just because of the amount of Chinese that are into real estate. They have just really inflated the prices like insane. So no, I would not. This is a place I would not want to live. I mean, it's a very, very beautiful place, but there are other places that, there's places in the U.S. that you would come out way better than here. Like, gosh, the cities here are like insane expensive. Like, it's kind of like San Francisco. Like, you're gonna pay $1 million for $500,000 for like a studio, So it's a place I would not want to be. A place I want to live. Would you go to New Zealand? So New Zealand, I'm definitely gonna go to New Zealand, but New Zealand's gonna be a completely different trip. From what I hear, New Zealand is freaking epic. Everybody that I talk to that have been to New Zealand, they have said that New Zealand is so much better than Australia. Because there's mountains, there's beaches, there's jungles, they just have it all. Like there's snow mountains like in New Zealand. What mountains with snow? Would you ever live in Switzerland? Actually, I would live in Switzerland. I would live in Switzerland. Switzerland is a place I really like a lot. I like Switzerland a lot, bro. Switzerland is the juice, if you ask me. Yeah, that's just my thought about Switzerland. But most people don't go to Switzerland because it's expensive. It is certain parts. I didn't think Geneva was that bad, but man, Zurich was freaking pricey. They have mountains in Australia. Yeah, they do. I guess like in the lower tip, they have mountains. Would you ever visit Pakistan? I would love to visit Pakistan. The Middle East is very high on my list, guys. The Middle East is very high on my list, but the Middle East is a hot spot. Yeah, the Middle East is definitely a hot spot. That's why I don't really want to go to the Middle East. I mean, I've actually been researching traveling to Iran. Would you choose Boosted over Evolve? Boosted over Evolve. Boosted's American, you know. I'm gonna stick with the American brand. I'm not gonna go with the Australian brand. And anyway, you can't take a Evolve on an airplane because the batteries are too big. You can take a Boosted on the airplane. Are you coming to Western Australia? So Western Australia is gonna be like later this year. Like when I get back from Africa, I wanna like travel to like Southeast Asia. That's when I'll probably hit up Western Australia. Because I really want to go to Perth, but then I'm kind of thinking that like it's gonna sort of be kind of boring like the rest of these places. I just feel that there's just not a lot of culture here, you know. Like I just feel that there's no culture. It's like it's just really really white, and there's no history. Like everything's brand new. I mean, this place that I'm in right now, like man, almost everything is like less than 20 years old. Like the buildings, like there's a library right here. This library looks so freaking futuristic. Yeah, everything's like brand new. Visit somewhere in Caribbean. Dominican is a nice place. Um, I will. I want to do the islands on a cruise boat with the boosted board. I haven't exactly planned out that, but I really would love to do. Would really love to do that on a cruise boat. I don't know. Could I take an electric skateboard on a cruise boat? I think I could. Somalia has a lot of culture. I wouldn't mind going to Somalia. I mean, that's a place that I could go pretty easy because I would blend in. I wouldn't stick out that much. Aboriginal people. Did you research them? So I didn't research the Aboriginals. I know so many people told me to see the Aboriginals. Like everybody's go see the Aboriginals. And this trip, honestly, this trip wasn't about. This trip was mainly about skateboarding, and that did not go as well as planned. I met Aboriginals, but to meet Aboriginals, you kind of have to like off the beaten path. You kind of have to go like sort of inland more, like deep inland. And I don't know, like on this trip, I'm just not feeling it, yo. I'm just really not feeling it. Like it's like the energy here is like the energy makes me kind of cold. It makes me not want to adventure. It makes me not want to adventure off the beaten path as much. Yeah, but I did meet Aboriginals yesterday. Hung out with quite a bit of Aboriginals yesterday. They remind me of Native Americans a lot. They're very different from a lot of the Australians. They sound just like your typical Australians because they you know they sound the same, but they're very different. They're very like, "What's up, my brother?" You know, they're very welcoming. They're like, "Oh man, you black like me, man." Like there's some pretty down to earth cool people. Yeah, they're pretty cool. But like I say, I don't want to get too far off the beaten path because you kind of need a car to. It really helps to have a car here. You can drive around. My friend said Cool is much better than Boosted. What made you travel to all different countries? Um, I just wanted to explore. I really just wanted to experience different cultures, and I wanted to inspire more Americans to travel. because traveling is the only thing that you can buy with money that makes you richer. And when you say this to an American, your average American, they just don't get this. Your average American thinks that Jordans make you richer. Your average American thinks a new car makes you richer. And actually these things, a new car makes you poor actually, because now since you have this new car, it's going to cost you more to keep up that new car. It's going to cost you more in insurance. It's going to cost you probably a car payment if you did not pay that car off in cash, like most Americans don't do. So, and the reason why traveling makes you richer is because the more you travel, the more you realize that you don't need the things that society says that you need. And this is what makes you richer. And this is what most people will never understand. There's 100 of you guys watching this video right now. And I'm telling you, majority of you guys will not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth when I say that traveling makes you richer. Because so many people are so stuck on money. They're so stuck on money that they think that money is the only thing that makes you richer. But actually knowledge can take you so much farther than money. The more knowledge you have, the more money you can make, okay? Traveling makes you richer, yo. It does. It does. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because it's something that a lot of people can't relate with. And I don't wanna talk about things that people can't relate with. That can be very uncomfortable. That can be very annoying, you know, when you're around a college professor and they're using these big words and you have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. It can just be really annoying. So I don't want to talk about how traveling makes you richer anymore. But if you can relate with what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Let's see. Check out these Aussies. Go to Barbados. Should I quit my job and start YouTube like day one? Quitting my job and started traveling across the world. I wouldn't necessarily say quit your job and just travel across the world. I would say, you know, come up with a plan first and then travel across the world. But I wouldn't necessarily say just quit your job. That'd be a really bad idea because how would you support yourself? How would you fund yourself? I mean, you can go to really cheap countries, believe it or not, but still, how would you support yourself? How would you fund yourself? Marty, you know what I'm talking about. Traveling heals the soul, it does. It makes you happier. It makes you, one thing I noticed about traveling, when I go back to the US, I appreciate it so much more. I appreciate it so much more. Like even the little things that I appreciate it so much more. I appreciate the things that we do. And I appreciate how we do things. I appreciate, you just appreciate so much more because sometimes you go to places and things just suck, or you go places and things are just not ran in a proper way, or you go places and things are just very, very uptight. You go places and people just don't have freedom, you know? Like certain countries, people just don't have the same freedoms that you have back in the US. And some places people just, they don't have the same opportunities. Like, you know, you go places and, you know, maybe people in this country, they cannot travel because of they have a really bad passport. But then you realize that, you know, with a US passport, like I can just show up to like majority of countries in the world and it's totally cool. But then you realize that a lot of people just can't do that. A lot of people, they have to go through so much crap just to go to another country, you know? And I'm not talking about like poor people in that country. I'm talking about rich people in that country too. Like they still got the same passport. So you realize that, you know, wow, that there's a lot of freedom, you know, and we definitely have got it good. Yes, money is killing us slowly. Oh yes, it is. It is. And, you know, right now in the US, it's tax time. It's tax season. And you know one thing I noticed that people in the US are, for real, they are not living good, bro. Like they're not. And the reason why I can say that they're not, I'm just looking at how many people are so excited about income tax season. So excited. If you are excited about income tax season, you're in the wrong tax bracket. Like honestly, you're in the wrong tax bracket. If you're excited about getting $3,000 back, like yo, you in the wrong tax bracket, yo, for real. Like that's what poor people do. Like I mean, I'm not trying to like offend anyone or bash anyone, but like so many people online are saying that if I don't get my taxes, like I won't be able to do this and I won't be able to pay my bills. Like for real? Like you've been living all year and you've been waiting like all this like people's priorities are like just not together. I don't know. It's just it's a big thing back home in the U.S., y'all. Like for real, you really dependent on like $3,000. Like it's gonna make you or break you for $3,000. Like, dang, yo, what's gonna happen when Trump changes the tax laws, change the tax laws next year, and they take even more tax money from you? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't want to find out. But people like me, I have to pay taxes. My bad. I ain't trying to talk about people back home, but this is something I noticed. Like so many people get so excited about income tax season, and I'm just gonna say you in the wrong tax bracket, y'all. Like getting $3,000 back ain't good. Getting $3,000 back means that you didn't make anything, yo. That's why they're giving it back to you. Because you so broke, they're just giving it back to you. Like I'm not trying to be funny, but like that's just how it is. Like I just see it from a different perspective than a lot of other people. Like I just see it from, yeah. But honestly, like it is the country. It's not just necessarily the people. It's the country. Like it's all about spin, spin, spin. If you don't have this iPhone, you ain't shit. If you don't have these new Jordans, you ain't shit. It's probably one reason why I don't really talk to that many people back in the U.S. is because I'm not that into consumption. I wear the same freaking shoes until they get a hole in them, and then I go buy new shoes. You know, like I just don't like. I'm just not blowing money on the same bullshit that everyone else is because I realize that I don't need these things. It's only society telling me I need these things. And these things aren't gonna make me happier, but it'll make the people around me think I'm cool, you know? Yo, that's a poor life. That's how I see it. That's a poor life. Would you say the US is the freest country? I would say the US is definitely one of the most freest countries. There's a lot of free countries out there, but you know, in Thailand, you can't talk about the leader. Like, you can go to jail for talking about the leader. Anyone can. A tourist, a local. In the US, I can get on TV, I can go in front of the White House, I can get on the internet, I can say anything I want to about the president. I can be in the airport screaming, fuck Donald Trump. And no one's gonna say anything. Like we live in a free country. Majority people in the U.S. don't realize that. Like you can't walk around and people in most countries you can't walk around and talk about the leaders. That's just forbidden. Like some countries you will be killed. They will kill you if you talk about the leader. Think about that. You will die. So yeah, we do live in a free country, and we also live in a country where you can be an entrepreneur. In Europe, it being an entrepreneur is completely different from being an entrepreneur in the US. Completely different, yo. Like they don't incentivize you being an entrepreneur. They incentivize you to work. In the US, there are far more benefits to being an entrepreneur than being an employee. Far more benefits. I don't think a lot of people realize that. In most parts of the world, maybe in China that is a little bit different. Maybe it's pretty dang awesome to be an entrepreneur in China versus an employee because they're really pushing entrepreneurship greatly in China. But a lot of other places, it, it's not as free. You know, you just don't have as many options. And yet in Europe, you know, if you have a job, you get like a month off work, or sometimes some countries you get 2 months, a year off work. That is good. But honestly, I like the American system more. Like I like the American system more. Like I just do. Like just I understand how it benefits the country. I don't really want to get into it. Like let's talk about something else. Jermaine, how are you? At what age did you start traveling to different countries, and what inspired you to do so? I started traveling like about 11 years ago, and what inspired me, I was on YouTube watching this video. This guy was from the UK, and he was talking about Americans. He was talking about America, he was saying horrible things about America, by the way. He was saying how Americans are lazy, how Americans don't travel, how Americans, how in the U.S. they build houses out of sheetrock. They build really cheap houses. He was even mentioning how in the U.S. you can take your fist and you can punch it through a wall, and your fist will go straight through the wall. And I was thinking, damn, how many walls have I punched a fist in through in the U.S.? And that's true, you know, it's very, very true. And he was saying how in Europe, a lot of the houses they're built out of brick, they're built out of stone, they last a whole lot longer. And then he was talking about how Americans don't travel. He says like 1 out of 5 Americans have passports, and out of that number, a majority of those people are from Mexico or from France. He like named certain countries, and I was thinking, dang, yo, let's go get a passport. So I actually got a passport, and I started traveling. But last year, I really ramped it up big time because I really wanted to inspire more people to travel from the U.S. You know, I was a part of this Facebook group called Black Travel Movement, and you know, it's just a lot of black people that travel, and I just wanted to, you know, just do my part and just get more Americans to travel and also more black people to travel. So that's really why I ramped it up this year. Oh, that's what's up. Greetings from Mexico. India is on the list. I'm trying to figure out India. Trying to figure out India. Maybe I'll go to India after South Africa. But to Mozambique last month. How was Mozambique? Love your videos. I'm gonna shoot my upload my videos. I will. I got a video for you guys tomorrow. Black people need to travel, at least get out of the hood. Yes, yes, they do. Yes, but then if you got black people leaving the hood, you know what you're gonna have. If you start having black people traveling and black people leaving, that's gonna cause a problem because it's gonna be too many black people leaving, and the people in the U.S. is making money off all these black folks because y'all know black people. We spend so much money in the U.S. Like we do. We spend so much money. And if black people start to spend money differently, that would be a problem for certain people in the US because they wouldn't be getting money from black people the same way that they're getting money from black people today. So black people really need to travel more. They do. I haven't been to Jamaica yet. You say India is expensive? I don't think India is expensive. Last time someone convinced black people to travel, we ended up on some boats. Okay, we did. It's hilarious. I traveled from DC to Paris on WoW because you recommended it. So how was WoW? Did you like WoW? Am I coming back to Israel? Yeah, I'll probably come back to Israel. I don't know when. Maybe after South Africa. I think I may have with Israel and certain countries in Africa. I have to do my research because you can't certain countries. If you come from in Africa, you can't enter Israel. I have to. I think it's like Kenya and Tanzania. You can't enter Israel for a certain amount of time because of diseases and stuff. But it's not just Israel that does that. There's a lot of countries that do that. Thailand does that. A lot of countries in Southeast Asia does that. Like if you come from certain African countries, they don't want you to enter their country for X amount of time. What's your opinion on Brexit? Well, I guess since Brexit started, um, if you're a Canadian citizen or a U.S. citizen, you can get through immigration faster. But that's not the question you ask. What do I feel about it? I don't really know too much about it. Like I look at the UK as a very different place from Europe. I look at the UK as the UK seems to be a lot richer compared to Europe. People in the UK, when I mean by the UK, I'm talking about England, I'm talking about Scotland, I'm talking about Northern Ireland. People seem to be a lot richer. There seems to be a lot more economic activity going on. I'm not trying to talk about Europe in a bad way, but Europe, when I think of Europe, I think of poor people. I don't think of Paris. I don't think of a very prosperous. I think of like basically the middle of America. Like people just are not doing that great because there's just not a lot of opportunities in like a lot of countries in Europe. Yes, in Germany, people are doing very well. Germany is a powerhouse. France is a powerhouse. Italy and Spain, especially Italy, like Italy's pretty third world, yo. Like it's classified as a first world country, but going there, people aren't really doing that great. And it's the same way in Spain. Like people are not doing that great. Like, I mean, they're not in poverty like they are in certain third world countries, but there's just not a lot of opportunity, you know. And a lot of Eastern European countries, like oh my gosh, like a lot of Eastern European countries, African countries are richer. People in Africa are doing much better than what people are doing in a lot of Eastern European countries. Like, yes, people in Africa are far more prosperous, yo. And that's because there's Europeans coming from other parts of Europe. They're going down to Africa. They're doing tourism, they're doing all this stuff. So Africans can make more money. But in a lot of Eastern European countries like Hungary and Budapest and Slovakia, yo, people ain't doing good. Like they're not. A lot of those Eastern European countries, people typically go to England, they go to France, they go to Norway, they go to these richer countries. Like in places like the Scandinavian countries, they're doing better than Americans, yo. Like Norway and Sweden, they're doing very well. Like these are some of the most prosperous countries on earth. Especially, I would say Norway for sure. Like people are living really good in Norway, yo. For Norway to take in as many refugees that they do, and for the refugees to live like they are living in Norway, that obviously says a lot about Norway. But a lot of countries in Europe, I think you guys would be surprised. I think when people think of white people, they think that all white people are doing good just because they're white. That is completely not, that is not true. It is not true at all, yo. In certain countries in Europe, people are doing very well. But in a lot of countries in Europe, people are struggling, yo. Like, okay, in Slovakia, the average Slovakian earns like 500 US dollars a month. A month, bro. A month. $500 a month. In South Africa, you know, I mean, people make probably around about $500 a month. But then there's the opportunity to make more because of tourism. A country like Slovakia, they're not having tourism like they're having in South Africa. Like you don't people aren't going in a lot of Eastern European countries. People are not going there for tourism, you know. So yeah, Jermaine, when is the next financial collapse? I don't know, but I think that it could possibly be soon. It could possibly be soon, and it could possibly start with China. Yeah, it could possibly start with China. I don't know if you guys know how the last financial crisis started, but it actually started in California, and it started in Santa Maria. Santa Maria, California started the freaking financial collapse, the last one. And you might wonder, how in the hell did a little town, Santa Maria, started this huge financial crisis that the world had? Santa Maria caused it by with the loans, these subprime mortgage loans. And people were basically saying, yeah, I make X amount of money and I want this house and I can afford it. And that's how it started. It started small and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger. It spread it throughout California, it spread it throughout the country. Once the US went down, countries around us went down too. Crap, it's raining. I was warned by the Aboriginals last night that sometimes in Australia when it rains, it will literally rain like crazy and it'll rain for hours. And they're also saying that, you know, in the US, it might rain like crazy for like 10 minutes and then it might keep on raining, but it's not raining as hard as it was. But they said here in Australia, it can rain like insane for hours. and there's really nothing you can do about it except be stranded. Sorry. My screen is really dark. Can I make this lighter? Yes, I can make this lighter. Malcolm noticed you. So what about the dollar? Someone says they don't want the dollar, they want the yuan. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if things got to a point where the US and China agreed on one currency. It wouldn't surprise me if things got that way. And it also wouldn't surprise me if certain parts of the US was, I don't want to really talk about that. But it wouldn't really surprise me if that would happen. If one day, because China is running up a lot of debt too. And of course you guys know the US is running up a lot of debt, but it wouldn't surprise me that if one day that the Chinese and the Americans actually came together, because it is really scary when you look at the Chinese influence. I was in the airport here, and when I was in the airport, I saw this Asian lady, and she was taking photos of the sun in the airport, and I was thinking like, what the hell is she taking a photo of, right? Because it was just the sun. It said like airport rentals. It said like rental cars. It said Ubers. It said trains, and it said this way, right? And I was wondering like, what is she taking a photo of the sun for? Like, who would want a freaking photo of the sun in the airport? And then I paid close attention to the sun, and you know what I saw on that sun? It was in Chinese. That's why she was taking a photo of it. It was in Chinese. She was taking a photo of it, probably to show her friends back home. Yes, it's in Chinese already. It's in Chinese. Like, it took me a minute to catch on to that one. I guess as soon as I moved, the rain stopped. Next country I'm headed to, possibly Canada, but back to South Africa. China owns half of America. I don't know. I just deleted your message, Malcolm. I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to delete your message. Yeah, that's true. China does own half of America. But you know, it's actually not that bad. It's not. Okay, for China to own, for other countries to own part of other countries, it's not as bad as it sounds, because like Trump right now is trying to sell like power plants to Dubai. It doesn't sound good, but it's actually not as bad as it as it sounds. For other countries to own large parts of infrastructure, usually when a country owns like a port or something like that, it's not the country's government. It's private country. It's private companies from that It's private companies from that country. So, for example, that's like Ford Motor Company owning a port in Sri Lanka, right? It's an American company that owns the port. I'm just using this for an example, because Ford doesn't actually own a port in Sri Lanka. A Chinese company does, but I'm just using it for an example. So that would be the equivalent. It would just be like American company, which would be controlled by American influence. I love Canada. Chinese debt trap. Oh yeah, there's tons of Chinese debt trap. Is the oil that they have in the North Pole region, Google climate change, letting the ice melt those regions can go. Yes, that's true. That's true. That's why Russia is encouraging global warming, because it's actually benefiting Russia a lot, because a lot of the ice is melting, meaning that they can get their ships through, and they can also easily explore these parts of the world that have been very, very difficult to explore. Okay, I don't really want to talk too much, because I don't want to get killed by like some Secret Service, you know, for talking about things I shouldn't be talking about. Have you ever thought about writing a book and sharing your advice? Yes, I'm actually working on writing a book right now, and I'm just being really slow about it. So guys, as of now, I've been live streaming for like 80 minutes. I'm gonna go call up my homeboy from New York. We're gonna chit chat. Is climate change real? Climate change is real. It's been snowing in Hawaii. It's been snowing in Vegas. Come on, it's snowing in Vegas. That doesn't even sound right. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here. It's been real. Thanks a lot for watching. It's gonna be another warm day. It is humid right now. It's mad hot. I'm probably gonna hang out in that library after I go skateboarding for a little bit because it's not raining just yet. So I'll do some skateboarding. Do what? Probably work on like a YouTube video or something. Or just be in air conditioning because the place I'm staying at just doesn't have air conditioning. A lot of these places around here don't have air conditioning. Someone's calling me. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot. I'm out. Thanks for the super chats. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, yo. Check out this beautiful place out on palm trees, yo. I'm just out here living my life. This is a bad life. Or no, this is a good life. This is a real good life. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching. Peace.